Tonight, new details in the plane crash near Ely that left one person dead. We're hearing from those who were on scene first.
And post office protests. Dozens gather in Duluth upset about changes made to mail delivery with the November election looming.
Plus, construction complete. A main vein going into downtown Duluth reopens after months of being shut down for improvements.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. Tonight we are hearing from those who watched a plane fall out of the sky near Ely overnight, a crash that killed the only person on board.
It happened just after 11 last night. Witnesses say that's when they saw the single-engine plane nosedive into White Iron Lake just east of Ely.
This is what's left of the plane today. Authorities say a 58-year-old Dr. Kyle Edlund from Woodbury, Minnesota, took off from the Ely airport sometime after 10:15 last night. He died when his plane went down.
So far, no word on what caused the plane to crash or what the pilot's destination was. But Lake County Sheriff's officials say he was headed toward the Cook County Airport. CBS3's Emma Quinn joins us live from White Iron Lake. Emma, you spoke with two women who watched this happen. What did they have to say?
Yeah, so Kristen, the two women I spoke to just arrived here to the White Iron Lake Beach Resort just 2 days ago from the East Coast. And last night around 11 o'clock, they were standing and watching right on these docks right behind me over here. And that's when they say they saw the whole thing happen.
We had been sitting out on the dock together at this dock over here, like probably about an hour.
It just happened so fast. I don't know, it was crazy.
Scary, crazy, and surreal are how Jocelyn Jones and Rebecca Fonz described Thursday night after witnessing a single-engine plane crashed into the White Iron Lake, which killed the lone pilot.
A plane just came from the corner of the lake and dipped through the clouds, and we saw it nosedive towards the ground. Then it scooped up and came nosediving at us.
The two girls called 911 in fear of the plane would crash into the White Iron Beach Resort, where they were staying on vacation.
I knew something was wrong. We knew like he was struggling, or whoever was in the plane was struggling, and just couldn't believe I was watching what I was watching.
Resort owner Kerry Davis was woken up after the crash. He and a guest took one of Davis's boats out to help while first responders arrived.
And we smelled fuel. A little bit of gas or something in the water made us turn back around, and that's when we found probably about a 3x4 piece of the plane already floating.
Davis anchored his boat until Morse Lake Fire Department and St. Louis County Rescue Squad arrived.
We were out on the water with the fire department till after 3, trying to help them figure out what they want to do as far as trying to recover whatever they could.
Davis says in the 26 years he and his wife have owned the resort, he's never seen anything like this.
Over the years, a couple of float planes kind of nosedive on land, but, you know, minor injuries and things like that. But this something you no one ever want to experience again.
Now, as of right now, there is no word on what caused the crash. The NTSB is still investigating, and Davis told me that as of right now, majority of that plane is still underwater in the lake. And so, Kristen, Tony, we'll send it back to you guys.
Yeah, just a horrible situation for everyone involved. And of course, our thoughts go out to the pilot's family. Thanks, Emma.
An Itasca County woman has died in a crash involving a semi-truck. Authorities responded to the crash at the intersection of Highway 65 and Highway 18 in Williams Township just before 8 o'clock Thursday night. Authorities say the semi was traveling east and the SUV was traveling north when the SUV hit the semi. The woman suffered fatal injuries in the crash. The semi-driver was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. And Dave's here for a first look at the weather. Hey, Dave, kind of a nasty day around Duluth today, huh?
Yeah, a little bit sunnier inland, but getting a bit windy as a low-pressure system approaches. Wind from the correct direction to make for beach troubles here on Park Point and Wisconsin Point. So National Weather Service has issued one of their beach hazard statements. They say don't go swimming on those points until at least 9 o'clock here tonight. Fire department says you should stay off till about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and maybe the latter is a little bit more correct because conditions for swimming are not ideal here tonight, as indeed a low-pressure system threatens to bring us showers and storms. That low is centered over towards North Dakota, and its frontal boundaries are already kicking up some showers towards the border with North Dakota and Minnesota. But earlier today here, we've had some of them pop up already in parts of northwestern Wisconsin and threatening the Upper Peninsula as well. So no matter how you slice it, we're all facing pretty much a 50-50 storm chance tonight, 40% storm chance through a good portion of Saturday. Things will calm down once we get into Sunday, though, but temperatures will drop. That'll be the payoff we pay to get calmer weather, and I'll talk about that in the entire 7-day forecast in more detail in just a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. Students at UMD should be prepared for some possible changes ahead of the start of the fall semester. Today, University of Minnesota System President Joan Gable proposed pushing back the move-in date and holding the first 2 weeks of classes online only. The move is in reaction to other college campuses around the nation that have already seen COVID-19 outbreaks. Gable proposed delaying move-in by at least 2 weeks, giving campuses time to evaluate new federal testing guidance. Classes would also remain online only for that time. The goal is to prevent moving a large number of students on campus, only to have them leave again if the virus flares up. She proposed similar changes at the university's other campuses. The Board of Regents will discuss the proposal at a meeting on Monday. UMD's chancellor also sent a letter to students and faculty today saying if the Board of Regents approves the president's proposals, they'll have to delay move-in. He says the university is doing everything it can to keep students and staff safe. Supporters of the United States Postal Service were hoping to send a message from Duluth to Washington today.
A peaceful picket went on this afternoon in the Chester Park neighborhood, where dozens of people used their voices to support USPS workers. CBS 3's Natalie Grant has a story.
Community members gathered here on West St. Marie Street in Duluth this afternoon to show support for their local United States postal workers.
They held signs asking the nation's Postmaster General to wait to consider any major changes to the organization until after November's election. Some are worried that cuts to overtime and pulling mail sorting machines could mean trouble when it comes to delivering election ballots on time this November. Mike Mayo, one of the organizers for today's picket, says the USPS is essential and needs continued support.
It's an essential service. People rely on it for, getting their medicine. They rely on it for voting. They rely on it for so many things, and the Postal Service delivers everywhere. So that's really something that it's an equitable service that everyone is getting mail, and we really need to make sure that we continue to fully fund this so that this is an institution that sticks around for generations to come.
Now, organizers also asked community members to reach out to Northland representatives for their support of the Delivering America Act that will be introduced to Congress tomorrow.
Thanks, Natalie. Now, earlier this week, Postmaster General Louis DeJoy said he would be waiting until after the election to consider making these changes. However, impacts on mail sorting equipment have already been seen across the country.
A key member of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz's cabinet is under fire surrounding Enbridge's Line 3 proposal. Commerce Commissioner Steve Kelly was grilled in a panel meeting today. It was over his department's decision to appeal the approval of Enbridge Energy's Line 3 proposal. Enbridge wants to replace that aging pipeline, which runs across northern Minnesota. Kelly defended the appeal, saying he's obligated to ensure that state statutes are followed.
Some good news if your daily commute takes you along Duluth's Lake Avenue. After being under construction for the majority of summer, the Lake Avenue Bridge reopened to traffic today. The goal was to add more sidewalks, more pedestrian-friendly options, and new traffic lights and bike lanes. Most of that work is already finished, with only some signs left to install. That means the Lake Avenue and Superior Street intersection is also back open tonight, but the new left turn lane onto Superior Street is still closed as Phase 3 of that reconstruction project continues.
And speaking of Superior Street, project leaders say they're still on track to finish by November. They've been working on the section from Lake Avenue to 3rd Avenue West since April, repaving and fixing up what's under the road. Senior engineer Duncan Swenson says crews will continue to work until weather forces them to stop, but they're confident they'll meet their deadline.
We use all the time we can get, we're going to be out here until the weather shuts us down, I think, but we're moving along. We're hoping that for Phase 3 of Superior Street that we'll have everything done and buttoned up by sometime in November.
This section marks the third and final phase of the Superior Street reconstruction project, which has spanned the last 3 years.
Wisconsin's governor wants to buy a new statue honoring someone who has made history at the state capitol. Governor Tony Evers is asking for $150,000 in federal grant money to pay for a new statue of the state's first black Secretary of State. The statue of Val Phillips would be the statue honoring a person of color at the Capitol. He also plans to restore 2 other statues torn down by protesters in June.
Rapper Kanye West won't appear on Wisconsin's presidential ballot in November. Officials say he turned his nomination papers in minutes after the deadline. The State Elections Commission voted 5-1 to keep West and running mate Michelle Tidball's names off the ballot. That's after a group of voters filed a complaint with the commission alleging West campaign workers turned his nomination papers in after the 5 o'clock deadline on August 5th. West also filed to appear on Minnesota's ballot earlier this week.
If you live in Wisconsin, your water or power won't be disconnected anytime soon. State regulators decided to extend their ban on utility disconnections due to the ongoing pandemic. That will last until at least October 1st. A recent survey shows a third of Wisconsin's households are behind on their utility bills. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, find out why a dog's life was celebrated today at the Richard I. Bong Veterans Center.
Thanks to cloud cover clinging by the lake here today, Duluth's temperature was only 72 degrees, but inland where it was sunnier, it was warmer into the 80s. Well, that warmth will be fuel for a thunderstorm coming our way, brought by a low-pressure system. We'll show you its progress coming up after the break.
Live, local, CBS 3 News at 6 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson. On Live, local, CBS 3. Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS.
Wow, is that really me?
Here, I don't look 61 in 3 weeks. I have no wrinkles, no bags, and this is only because of Plexiderm.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I? I'm just in love with the mirror right now.
Plexiderm is a wonderful product. I look at least 10 years younger.
It's a facelift in a jar.
The people you're watching have just seen themselves in the mirror for the first time since we applied Plexiderm to their problem areas. Their reactions are real, and so are the results from using Plexiderm. What's even more amazing is that it takes less than 10 minutes. Now you can watch your under-eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet visibly disappear for just $14.95 by going to plexidermtrial.com and taking the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge.
I'm Neela. I'm 61 years old. I'm a professional personal trainer. It's so important to be in good health and to be fit and take care of yourself. How it makes you feel inside is amazing. And yet, when you look in the mirror, what you see necessarily isn't what you feel inside. Plexiderm, seriously, it fixes all that. It makes you feel as good outside as you do inside. Honest to God, it's amazing. There's nothing there. Like, the bags are gone.
This is really good. This is, I'm going to fill my bathtub with this stuff and get the whole body this time. All these lines are gone. I feel like a new woman.
The instant results are from naturally based silicates found in shale clay. Once applied, your skin tightens and firms, rapidly reducing the appearance of under-eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet. At our $14.95 price, it's the best time to try Plexiderm and see it work for yourself. So if under-eye bags make you look tired and older, take the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge today for only $14.95. Just go to plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
The power of technology is incredible, but it's nothing compared to the power of people. To all our MediaCom employees, we'd like to say thank you. Whether you're working from home, working extra hours, working on the front lines, or keeping things working behind the scenes, you've gone above and beyond to take care of our customers and keep our communities connected. Our network is powerful because you are powerful people.
Playtime is over.
Don't wait for the moment. You make the moment.
Time to go to work! They love seeing all your faces again.
Our future is now.
We're here to make it better. Frankly, we've never needed it more.
Look who just got here. Look who ruined my first take. It's good enough for me.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3. Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS. Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, 48 years ago this week, big rains came down, 3 inches in 2 hours, washed the hillside down the hill. You can see some of the damage here that came back during that era. Of course, I lived up in Ely back then, but I remember even that town got pretty wet from some pretty big storm systems. Well, there is a storm system coming our way tonight. It may not be that big, but we do still face the threat for isolated severe storms as we go through the overnight hours. Last Friday night we had organized severe storms, so this go-around shouldn't be so bad, and we'll give you the latest details on it here after we take a look at the current conditions at the airport in Duluth. We're at 68 degrees, relative humidity is 81%, and the easterly southeasterly winds going 8 miles per hour right now. And we're holding on to 1,010 millibars for our barometric pressure reading, which is a little on the lower side as that low pressure system slowly gets closer to our region. Now, temperatures were a wide range today. Yeah, we had a high temp of 72 at the airport, and right now it's down to 68, but we're up to 79 in Watersmeet. We have mid-70s in Hayward and 74 degrees for the folks in Ashland, 81 towards Solon Springs, but only 64 in Superior. 72 Moose Lake, so a bit of a difference there as well. 81 in Ely right now, 76 Hibbing, 79 Grand Rapids, and low 80s International Falls. In places where it's warmer, of course, that air will provide lift to help aid and abet the storm system that's coming our way. Just in the past couple of hours in advance of the low pressure system, we've had some precip pop up in northwestern Wisconsin and head towards the upper peninsula, but the more organized low, if we can call it organized, because again, it's not as organized as last week, but it's a little more organized towards North Dakota, cold front coming. That could be another wave then coming our way later on tonight through Saturday, perhaps around midnight. Many Minnesota towns will be affected by it as the low gets closer and that cold front as well, and then a couple hours later spills into Wisconsin and the UP. And bottom line is we could see showers and storms from this through early Saturday evening now, and it won't go away by mid-afternoon like I was hoping. It might last a little bit longer. But by Sunday, weak high pressure takes over and dries up conditions. Even if it won't make things perfectly clear, it'll be more partly sunny on Sunday. But this high will be strong enough to keep our next rain chance away until perhaps Wednesday or so. That'll be log-jammed over towards the Rocky Mountains until it finally gets that midweek chance to come our way. Coming our way tonight in Minnesota will be a range of low temps that go 59 to 63 with a 50-50 shower and storm chance, which we share with folks in Wisconsin and Michigan. Low temps there, lower 60s. For tomorrow in Wisconsin and Michigan, high temps should go 77 to 82. Still a 50% storm chance there till early evening. Minnesota storm chance is 40% tomorrow with highs in the low 70s lakeside, 78 to 82 inland, and now with the extended forecast. Yeah, once we chase away that storm chance Saturday evening, Sunday's calmer but cooler. Monday, partly sunny, 78. Should be dry through Tuesday. Next rain chance, Tony and Kristen. That'll be Wednesday, Thursday. 30 to 40% chance for another go-round with showers and storms.
Yeah, and as we took your camera there, it looks like maybe some of that fog is lifting around Duluth, or did I make that up? Seems like not quite so thick.
Well, our concrete bunker here, I'll have to poke my head out of a porthole here and see what I can tell.
That sounds good. I'll wait for that. Thanks, Dave. It was a somber day for the Superior community as they honored one of their own. Many showed up outside the Richard I. Bong Veterans Center to remember Sarge, a 12-year-old German Shepherd. Sarge spent his whole life on the honor guard, paying respects to those who gave all by attending more than 400 funerals. He also visited schools around the area for flag etiquette classes. His handler says he was a great service dog.
He put in about 10 or 11 years with the honor guard. Yeah, it took a long time to get him used to the rifles because they're pretty loud at the cemetery, but he finally got to where he wouldn't even jump. And like I said,
Sarge died of complications with hip dysplasia. The Richard I. Bong Veterans Center will have a display up of the dog for about a week or so.
The city of Minneapolis plans to rent an office building to replace a police precinct that burned to the ground. The city's third police precinct was set on fire in May during the unrest that followed George Floyd's death. Yesterday, a city council committee approved spending more than $3.5 million to sublease the building for 3 years. They also voted to spend about $1.2 million to renovate it. The building is about a half mile from the previous 3rd Precinct headquarters.
Coming up in sports, could the Vikings be allowing fan attendance for the upcoming season? Kelly answers that question coming up.
For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, turn to CBS3.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS3.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. The TED event is happening now, where you're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
At Lift Pro International, we have custom designed and fabricated lifting, weighing, and rigging solutions for more than 40 years. With a worldwide presence and reputation, we need world-class insurance to match. This is why we trust Cindy of Vernon Insurance to make sure we're fully covered no matter where in the world we're doing business.
Protect your home, vehicle, or business, and your peace of mind. Call Cindy at Vernon Insurance today.
Do you have a coffee smile? Drinking coffee causes yellow teeth for thousands of people just like you. And whitening toothpaste just doesn't make those stains go away. Introducing Power Swabs, the first teeth whitening system that lifts coffee stains off your teeth in less than 5 minutes without whitening strips or trays.
I've smoked, I've drank coffee, I drink red wine. It makes my teeth darker. And using Power Swabs, it's made a difference. People ask me, what do you do to whiten your teeth? And I'm really proud to tell them that I use Power Swabs.
This didn't sting, it didn't burn, it didn't have an aftertaste. It was just a swab, and I just got to rub it on my teeth, and that was it.
The secret is a tooth detergent and whitening agent developed by Dr. Martin Ginniker that lifts stains off of your teeth. Power Swabs remove stains on natural teeth, veneers, bonding, caps, and crowns. The best part is you just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you'll have whiter teeth. No more sitting at home with a whitening strip or tray in your mouth for 30 minutes twice a day.
So with the strips I've used in the past, most of them are like, you got to leave it on for 30 minutes, and the whole experience is just not comfortable. But with Power Swabs, I just snapped it open and rubbed it on, and it was good to go.
When I used these whitening strips, I noticed when I would drink, I would get this crazy sensitivity. It would go right to my brain, and I'm like, I hate this. So why do I have to go through the monstrosity of this pain just because I want to whiten my teeth? With Power Swabs, there was zero sensitivity.
Within the first day with the Power Swab, I noticed there was a difference. I really love the fact that you're able to go individually on each tooth and make sure that it's going to be wider.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. Whiten your teeth today by ordering Power Swabs and receive 40% off the regular price. Yes, 40% off the regular price. Shipping is free, plus you'll receive a free Quick Stick pen. Visit powerswabs.com or call the number on your screen.
Tune in Saturday mornings for the Link Ford lineup, where we will show you amazing vehicles on our lot, like this 2019 Ford Escape SE with all-wheel drive, a backup camera, and more for just $366 a month. Or check out this 2008 Ford F-250 Super Duty XLT for only $320 a month. Want to see more? Then be sure to watch this Saturday. Visit us online at linkmotors.com or stop by either one of our 2 locations to view our complete inventory. Link Ford, where reputation is everything.
Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS.
After a collaborative effort that included a survey of student athletes, Superior High School made the decision to move football and volleyball to the spring season yesterday afternoon. But the school knows it won't get any easier from here, as football, barring they want to play this fall, will likely have to look at non-conference play, with majority of the teams in the Big River Conference still playing. The team admits it's tough that they won't get a chance to play for a conference championship, but at the end of the day, they just want to play.
We just want to line up and play. And don't get me wrong, when we do line up and play, we want to win those games. But, wherever, we'll travel wherever, whenever, within the parameters of, the guidelines that have been given. Everything factored in, we made the right decision. As much as I would love to be playing right now, and our kids would love to be playing right now, it wouldn't be very likely that we would line up and play in October as we initially planned.
And in the pros, the Vikings are hoping to get thousands of fans back into U.S. Bank Stadium for this upcoming season, with the exception of their season opener against the Packers on September 13th. According to the Star Tribune, the team has had talks with Governor Walz as well as the Department of Health to see if they can safely allow fans into the stadium. The team says that no more than a fifth of the seats can be filled this year, and a decision will likely be made within the next week. If you're a Minnesota Timberwolves fan, the last 15 years or so probably haven't been your favorite. Sure, there were a few glimmers of hope here and there, making the playoffs for the first time 2 seasons ago, nabbing Karl-Anthony Towns in the 2015 draft. Well, last night, you can add something to that list of highlights. It's a small one, but the Timberwolves, for the first time since 2015, earned the first overall pick in the NBA draft lottery. The 14% chance was the Wolves' best chance, making the Wolves having the best chance in all of the NBA to earn the spot.
You know, Gerson as an organization, we trust Gerson and Ryan and all those guys to, you know, continue making Minnesota, you know, a home for, you know, some of the younger guys coming up, and even for some, you know, some all-star guys coming in. I think, you know, the bar is set now, so we're excited to get it going.
The T-Pups hope that this will help lead the squad in the direction of building around stars Karl-Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell, ultimately resulting in more wins. The team went 19-45 last season, the second worst record in the Western Conference. Major League Baseball has now postponed the entire weekend series between the Yankees and the Mets after 2 members of the Mets organization tested positive for the coronavirus. Following the announcement, MLB shared their latest testing numbers. Over the past week, there were 7 new positive tests, 3 players and 4 staff members. Those positives came from a sample of 12,485 samples, which is 500% of the total tests. Since monitoring began, 19 different clubs have returned at least 1 positive test. And in the bigs tonight, the Brewers continue their road trip as they head to Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates. This one just got underway a little bit ago with Adrian Hauser on the bump for the Crew. Meanwhile, for the 3rd straight weekend, the Twins will take on the Royals, this time in Kansas City. First pitch for that game scheduled at 7:05 p.m. We'll have highlights for both tonight in the CBS3 News at 10. For now, Kristen and Tony, I'm going to send it back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Kelly. Tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, after their beloved house caught fire Monday night, one family lost everything except their lives. Tonight, we'll hear how this West Duluth family is honoring the house they lived in for more than 45 years.
All right, Dave, you're keeping a line on track on a line of storms from out west. Are those going to arrive tonight, or when we?
I think they'll get towards us around the midnight hour. It's a 50-50 shot that they'll hold together long enough to get here. Sometimes those things expend their energy before they get into our region. And after last Friday's big storms, you know, wouldn't it be so bad if that happened again? You know, I think we could live without some thunderstorms. Yeah. But just be ready in case they do happen. Again, 50% chance tonight, 40% chance for follow-up through a good portion of Saturday, but then higher pressure takes over Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. It starts a little bit weak, so it'll only be partly sunny, but it could become clear to partly cloudy by Tuesday. Then our next round of rain could be happening about Wednesday into Thursday. That's a 30% to 40% go-around. Temperature-wise, tomorrow we could push into the 80s inland, but it looks like the number of the days for the 80s is indeed numbered. We'll keep track of it with the 7 days as we go through time.
All right. Thanks for joining us.